This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the afternoon show presented by ESCN. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez and Jay McLovin. How's it going, guys?
Tony, how you doing?
Pretty good. 50 degrees.
I am doing good. It's a beautiful 74, and I did go outside for a little bit, and it felt just like 74. So it's good over here, nice and sunny, no issues. Got Jerry Cantrell on the tap for tonight at House of Blues, baby. Boy, we're gonna be rocking a little bit. It's gonna be awesome.
Good times. Sounds good.
Yeah. It was Mel's late birthday present, so I don't know who got the benefit of that, me or her, but I don't care. She let me take her birthday present for House of Blues, Jerry Cantrell. So we're gonna rock it. Don't care. Tell you one thing though, it's interesting, guys. So Sean McVay, like I told you earlier, said that his number one priority is to get Matthew Stafford back in the fold and keep rolling. But there are teams interested in him. One is the Raiders. The other is the Giants. I got to tell you, if I'm Matthew Stafford, I would be excited to go do either one of those damn teams.
From the way Adam Schefter was talking on Pat McAfee show a little bit ago, there's some other teams interested as well.
Oh, really?
He really didn't name off the teams, but he said there was more teams than that, and he said that the Rams have made Stafford an offer, but they also told him to go out and gave him permission to go out and see. So I mean, one of these teams could offer him more money, and then the Rams could match, or the Rams could move on. So it's still up in the air what's going to happen. I know McVay says like that's number one priority, but if that's your number one priority to re-sign him, why are you letting him go out and see what's out there? You know what I mean? To me, if you really want to keep him, you're not going to give him the opportunity for anybody else to get him.
You think it might just be the GM that is saying that they're going to listen to contract or trade offers, or is that McVay saying that? I think McVay probably wants Stafford back, but I think the GM might have different ideas.
I see it both ways because I think that they're a playoff team.
Right.
Could they be a Super Bowl team? I mean, it's not impossible that they could be if he has a real good year. I mean, their defense really is coming on. They've got some weapons. If you can add another weapon there, they could be a Super Bowl team maybe. So, I mean, if you get rid of Stafford, that changes that. Now, maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, they might be a Super Bowl team again. That's if you get lucky at quarterback. If you find someone.
Yeah.
So, to me, I understand McVay. I would do everything. I mean, again, you don't want to break the bank. I mean, he's not a spring chicken, so you don't want to, you don't want to pay him tons and tons and tons of money, I guess. But I guess it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Chris, what do you think? You think they should? I think they should keep him.
I would keep him. You have a young roster or other. I mean, I know he's a little older, but you got a pretty young roster that actually is ahead of schedule from what people thought they would be at. I mean, I think people forget they were driving the ball down to like the 20-yard line with a chance to beat the Eagles in the playoffs, and Jalen Carter comes up with a big play. So I mean, it wasn't like the Rams were far off, and they were a lot closer than what people thought. So yeah, to me, I'd be trying to keep them. I understand maybe they don't want to do. Maybe they just want to do like a 2 or 3 year deal, maybe not a longer deal. And I understand that you got to find a price that works for both of you. But I mean, the alternative could be dim. We all see what happens when you don't have a quarterback, and in my opinion, they have one of the better quarterbacks in the league. He's still playing at a high level.
I think they should keep him, and I think they should draft that quarterback from Ohio State.
My thing is, I agree with both you guys. I think you have to keep Matthew Stafford. If you look right now, you still have an incredibly good team. You have a very competitive playoff team. You weren't too far out from the Super Bowl run again. You got short, but that's okay. I think why would you take a team like that and get rid of your star quarterback for something that could possibly work or not possibly work? And what is out there really anything better than Matthew Stafford anyway on the market? Even if you went and drafted a young rookie, they're not going to get you to the playoffs or to the Super Bowl right up off the rip. They may need some developmental time. It's not like there's a C.J. Stroud or a Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams. You got some average Craven Ward and Shedeur Sanders, which I don't really fully believe in.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think you run it back. And I think if you don't run it back, then I'd say you strip the team because it's going to take you a while to get a damn competent quarterback to take over for Matthew Stafford. And in the meantime, these guys are wasting their young rookie years waiting for a quarterback to come in there. I wouldn't be excited about that crap.
You might not find, I mean, like you said, I mean, you're taking a risk. You might not find anybody good as Stafford. You remember bringing a young guy in, and there may be 5, 6, 7 years down the road, and you still ain't found his replacement. So
exactly. That's what I feel about it too. I mean, look, a draft person is a possible. It's not a guarantee. They're possibles. And you hope that the possible pans out to be what you think it's going to be. But sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't. Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, the list goes on of people who thought was going to be good and weren't. So you never know. I mean, you never know. And I figure, why would you, if you're in a win now mode, you weren't that far off. Why would you mess with that? You got him under contract for 2 more years. I'd ride out to 2 years and then part ways with them. That's probably 39 years old.
If they were 7-10 last year, I could understand that thinking.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And the guy really, truthfully, Matthew Stafford hasn't had too many injuries. He's played relatively injury-free for the most part.
Well,
you know,
over the last couple of years, but he's had that back issue where he basically a few years ago had that basically almost like a broken back. So I mean, he's had some things, but yeah, here over the last couple of years with the Rams, it ain't like he's been real banged up.
I think he's got at least 2 more years of really good production in him. Maybe not elite, superior production, but he's got good production and good decision-making and knowing the ins and the outs of the game. You know, that could still pay off for 2 more years. And then after this contract, then yes, I would look to move on from Matthew Stafford at the end of this contract. And they're going to say, well, you know, we can get draft picks. Yeah, you probably can, but it doesn't mean it's going to do you anything. You still got a proven winner in Stafford. Why not write that out for 2 more years? I don't know why you wouldn't.
Raiders minority owner Tom Brady recently hosted Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford at his home.
I'm sure he's getting courted.
This just came out 9 minutes ago.
Okay. I feel bad. If Matthew Stafford finds his way over to with the Raiders or even the Giants, I would absolutely feel bad for that man.
So Stafford went to Brady's home in Montana to discuss a potential move to Las Vegas.
Going to Las Vegas is so tough because that division is so damn tough, and you're already behind the 8 ball because your team is not as strong as the other 3 teams in that division right now.
Right. I mean, one of the big things I guess the Raiders have going for them is they do have a good tight end in Brock Bowers. They have a somewhat decent couple of players on that defense and Mason Crosby and such. And they have a good coach in Pete Carroll. But you're still a long way from being where you need to be any kind of contention mode. Well,
we think that, and I don't disagree, but we think that, but we thought that about the Washington Redskins too. So
I don't know though, but the Washington Redskins did have some pieces there. Like they had some good pieces. This Raiders organization has gone through hell and back with leadership and lack of leadership and
that guy's
about inmates running the asylum. I mean, this team needs some strong leadership, and I just don't know. Maybe they do, Tony. You know, I mean, hey, I've been proven wrong before. I just think if I'm Matthew Stafford and I got probably 2 more years left in the league, can I really go out as a Raider? I mean, or as a Giant with basically going to be a gap field quarterback. That's what he's going to be. You know, Matthew Stafford will be reduced down to a gap field. I don't know if that's really. I would not want to go out of the highlight of my career as a gap field quarterback. Fuck that. I'm too competitive for that. And I got to imagine Matthew Stafford is too competitive for that. But he did entertain the invite by Brady. So maybe he's willing to overlook that and say, yeah, with it, let's do it. You know.
Yeah. Because the Raiders got rid of a lot of their pieces.
Another pitch, though.
They got rid of Jacobs. They got rid of the one receiver that left and went to be with Rodgers.
Yeah.
Damn. So okay, so if you do go after a guy like Stafford before the draft, I would have to imagine this is something they want to get settled before the draft because that's going to affect their drafting too. If you're bringing up a guy like Stafford, do you want to give him weapons? You know, do we need to go get him for a running back? Or we need, what do we need to do to support this guy?
Well, the other question is, what do you give up to get Stafford? I mean, do you give up a number 1 pick for Stafford? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to give up a number 1 pick for Stafford because he's not. What is he, about 30-some years old? Maybe a little older.
35, I think.
I don't
37.
I don't think I'd give up a number 1 pick for him. Would you?
He'd probably get at least one number 1 pick.
I wouldn't give up this year's pick.
He'd probably get at least one first-round pick. 'Cause, I mean, he's still one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and we've seen some of these guys playing into their 40s. So I think he probably play at least 2 or 3 more seasons at a high level.
Would you give what was the Raiders' 5th or 6th pick? Would you give up that pick for Stafford? Would you? It's a tough call.
I think I would because without a quarterback, you're not going to go anywhere. Their offensive line isn't terrible. They need some work. That team isn't. I mean, it's not as bad as.
We never expected them to be as bad as they were this year. I thought that coach, he did pretty good that year before. I thought they were going to be a lot better than what they were. I'm not saying they was going to be a playoff team, but I thought they were going to be better.
Yeah, but what the problem was, it was the quarterback. You had O'Connell, and then you had Minshew, and neither one of them was able to play at a consistent level, high level. They'd have spots here and there where they looked all right, but they weren't consistent enough.
Well, they got rid of Jacobs, and the running game didn't do very good. And the receiving core was depleted. So, I mean, they really didn't have a lot of weapons either on a consistent basis.
Yeah. That's where I'll leave you guys off. Sorry about that.
Then also coming out of the combine, the Colts, Ballard talking about Anthony Richardson, saying that that's going to be open competition, and that they're looking to bring somebody in that can push them in production as well. So, like, I guess the way they're making it sound, whoever they are going to bring in is going to get a pretty fair shot of trying to be the starting quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see who they end up bringing in.
Who do you think it might be?
I don't know what they're going to do, because how much money are you going to want to spend on a guy that you're bringing in? So I don't know. They got me lost right now.
I still think it might be Fields.
You think they're gonna go? You think they're gonna give up on Richardson and look elsewhere? Is that where we're going with that?
What they're saying is bring somebody in and give them both guys will have a fair shot to win the job. Either Richardson's going to win the job and take it and step up, or this guy's going to win the job and step up and take it. I think you could get Fields at a decent price. He's young. I don't think it's going to be tons of money for Fields. That's why I think Fields might be a decent person. I'm hoping that Richardson pans out. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean,
for sure.
Best case scenario. I mean, he's proven if he could, he don't need to throw. I mean, it'd be great if he could throw 70%, but if he's throwing 47%, and we still had 3 receivers with over 800 yards in receiving. If he could up 10% to 57%, that changes the team. I mean, if he can just get a little bit better with his accuracy, he would be with his running ability.
Right.
He could be a fairly decent quarterback, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Fields, I think Fields would be a good guy you could bring in, like you said, relatively cheap, not killing your cap. He's definitely on some prove it stuff, right? So him and Anthony Richardson both, in their own ways, have things to prove. I mean, Anthony Richardson still has a lot to prove if he wants to stay in the league, and so does Fields, honestly. So yeah, you got 2 guys that are probably feeling the pressure of trying to prove themselves. And that would be great for a good, healthy mini camp.
Yeah. And I know last year we had 2 different quarterbacks, 2 different styles. And do you think that affected us being able to win? If you don't think it did, I mean, I'm wondering if you have
I
two,
don't.
if you have a quarterback, if you have two quarterbacks that can play the same system, because really our backup last year couldn't play the same system that Richardson played. It had to be a different system, and I wonder if that affects the team.
It wasn't much, but the thing was, it wasn't much of a different system. Only difference is the quarterback wasn't running the ball. I mean, if you think about it, they still would give the ball to Taylor, and they still. The biggest difference with Flacco was in there is our short passing game was more consistent because he could hit those 10, 15 yarders where Richardson consistently doesn't hit those 10, 15 yarders. He's pretty good at hitting the 50, 60 yarders, but he's struggling hitting the shorter ones. But I don't think that if you watched, I don't think the offense changed a whole lot. Maybe the way Steichen called it a little bit changed because like when Richardson there,
Richardson can run the ball.
He'd run the ball with Richardson,
which changes that option.
Which sometimes I think they didn't do that enough. I mean, if that's the best thing he has right now, use it more. I mean, but then you go into the conversation that can he stay healthy if you're doing that, or is he going to tap out because he's tired? I don't know who they're going to bring. It could be somebody like Fields. I like what Dan Patrick said today. He said when he first heard that Stafford was going to be going out and talking to teams, the first team he thought of was the Indianapolis Colts. I'd love for the Colts to bring in Stafford, but
let me ask
I don't think that's going to happen. But I think that'd be awesome.
If you bring in Stafford, do you trade Richardson and bring in a different backup? Do you go a completely different direction, or do you keep Richardson there? But Stafford's going to be your guy. He's going to be your quarterback for the next 2 or 3 years if he stays healthy.
I think you keep Richardson there at this point because you don't have to sign him to another contract yet, and you have him on a rookie deal. So why not?
Yeah, that'd be a very.
Why not keep him there as your backup and see if he grows? If he grows under Stafford, if you were to do that, like I said, I don't know. But Dan Patrick mentioned that, and I was like, dude, I would love that.
Be all for that.
But
no, I think having Stafford as your go-to and then having Richardson as your backup would be economically good, and also it would give you a little bit of competitive edge. I mean, Jonathan Taylor might get revitalized in that because now you get a guy that can throw the ball, and Michael Pittman Jr. and company. That's going to become curious as who you draft to support that. Or if you have to give up a draft pick for him. I don't know if it wouldn't be much of a draft pick because he's only got 2 years left, 2 or 3 years left in the league. So I'm not sure what you would trade for him or what you would lose.
It's going to be interesting where they go because I've heard Fields, I've heard Marcus Mariota, which
I would give up
Marcus Mariota. I would just say fuck it.
Colts pick what 14th?
I've also heard Daniel Jones.
No,
as a guy that they might bring in, which to me that's not competition.
Colts pick 14th. I'd give up my 14th pick for Stafford.
Oh yeah.
I think
it's definitely good. I definitely imagine it taking at least that first round pick to convince them to let go. So yeah, 14th round for sure. I just want to know if he went. Let's say if Stafford did go to the Raiders, who would the Raiders draft at 6? And if he went to the Giants, who would they draft at 3? Well, they're probably going to give up those picks if they bring.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
they may not even. Yeah, you're right. They may not even have those picks available. I don't know if I'm giving up a number 3 pick for Matthew Stafford. I just
at his age. That's my question.
Yeah, I might do it if I'm the Colts. If they were in that, because you guys got a lot to work with. But the Giants giving up that number 3 pick really it doesn't move the needle for them at all. If anything, it sets them back because you're bringing in a guy who's only got a couple years left, and then you lose that pick, and if you don't make it to the playoffs, then you're worse off because now you didn't get no young talent out of it.
Personally, I think the Giants with that number 3 pick. This is my opinion. I think they should trade it and pick up a bunch more picks.
That's another way to look at it for sure, because they got a lot of holes on that team that need fixing.
That's
a lot of holes in that team. But then who do you run at quarterback? Who is their quarterback? Because I know Daniel Jones.
I don't know who is a quarterback.
Well, I mean, and they might be able, depending on how they work it. If they were to trade for Stafford, how they work that trade out, they might not have to give up that pick. You know what I mean? If you could work that trade out without giving up that pick, then you could trade that pick. You could trade that pick to somebody else and get more picks.
Maybe if you give up number 1 next year and a number 2 this year or something like that, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Pat McAfee says he relays Aaron Rodgers' strong opinion of Sean McVay amid Rams rumors. Good God, could he be going to the Rams?
Oh, people make a bigger deal out of it. Did you hear when McAfee said it? They make a bigger deal out of it.
I don't know how you saw this.
It's
y'all
funny.
heard some rumor?
All he said was that he said that my source is, which everybody knew was Rodgers, but said that Rodgers was out of town or out of the country, would probably be back maybe next week and would be on the show. But then he did say that Rodgers said that he's open to everything but attached to nothing, but he does really have a lot of respect for Sean McVay. Is basically what McAfee said.
Oh, so they're just turning that one quote into something maybe more than what it was. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that could happen.
Now, if they look, and I said this before any of these reports were coming out, but that as soon as I heard Stafford was on the market, might be on the market, I said that I thought if Stafford left, that's where Aaron Rodgers would end up at with the Rams.
Would you really let Stafford go to bring on an even older quarterback and Rodgers? I mean,
but if it's about the money, if Stafford's wanting more money and you can't afford to pay, not afford, but you don't want to pay that. If you can bring Rodgers in for a year or two on a friendly deal, then you can try to find your next guy.
God, that just sounds terrible all the way around. Bringing Stafford, I'm sorry, but I just feel like,
and it's a way if you lose Stafford that still possibly could keep you still in that championship mode because of where your team was last year, and you bring Rodgers in, who I believe still can play. I think that would keep the Rams at a competitive level.
Still play. I just think Rodgers is too much of a head case to deal with between the dark rooms and all the other BS that he does. He doesn't put any real.
I think that's all blown more out of proportion. That's stuff he does during the off season. He's not doing that during the season.
I mean, that's not the point I'm making. That's not the point. The point I'm making is he don't have a killer instinct. He don't have no dogma in him. He's just a rich quarterback playing the system. I'm sorry.
I got you, Jay. I got you. He don't have the eye of the tiger.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't hearing that shit. Apollo Creed getting ready to pull that ass whooping on his ass.
Yeah, Mr. T gonna take him out, and he ain't ready.
Man, listen. Y'all think that Aaron Rodgers got something left? That man ain't got a damn thing left in the tank. He's too rich and too comfortable and too much gallivanting about anything else other than thinking about football. No, I'm sorry. Hell no.
He's going to come back and play this year.
Never brought that man in. Now that is one thing.
I think he's going to come back and play this year, and I think you're going to be eating some crow at the end of the year.
Nah,
you thought that last year too, though.
Nah, I ain't eating that crow.
And he at the second half of the season, he was playing good. He's coming back from a big injury. I think he's going to have a good year this year. I really do.
If he plays.
Yeah, if he plays.
Because I mean, he could just.
I don't think he's going to retire. I think he's going to play. I think it's
got to be the right fit, though. I don't think he's just going to go anywhere.
Yeah, where's the right fit? Where's the right fit for a 41-year-old quarterback?
In his mind, the Rams would be in his mind.
If the Rams come,
would be a perfect fit. He would think it'd be a perfect fit because he thinks they're a good team and he feels he still can play and they could be playoff contenders. Other than that, I don't know.
Look, the Rams have a good team to be playoff contenders. They just, it doesn't. You don't have to be an elite quarterback for the Rams to be playoff contenders. They got enough pieces there for that.
Well, Rodgers is going to feel like that he could. If Stafford leaves the Rams, Rodgers is going to feel like he could go to the Rams and they're a Super Bowl contender. That's what he's going to think.
Yeah, I'm sure he feels that way.
And like you said, you don't have to be elite.
I'm serious. I'm sure he does.
Because I mean, he's. I agree with you. He's probably not elite anymore, but would he be strong enough to help lead them?
I believe so. But there's been rumors of Pittsburgh. There's been rumors of I don't know what he's doing.
He's over there crying, saying like, "Man, I can't believe y'all talking about this nonsense, man. Rodgers ain't going to." That's what Pablo's saying. Pablo's like, "Man, what the hell?" I don't know. There was a time back in the day when Rodgers was much younger that I felt good about him, but then the last 5 or 6 years, I've soured on Aaron Rodgers. About as much as I soured on Mike McCarthy when I heard he was coming to the Cowboys to be our coach. I was like, oh, damn.
McCarthy's a good coach.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do, man, with Schottenheimer. I'm not exactly excited about this year.
He had to be doing something right. He's won a Super Bowl in the NFL, and he has a pretty high win percentage in the NFL.
Gonzo.
What?
Gonzo. How long has it been? What year did he win a Super Bowl in?
I didn't say recently. I'm just saying he's a good coach. To win a Super Bowl, you have to be a good coach. Terrible coaches don't win the Super Bowls.
That's not necessarily true, because Barry Switzer won a damn Super Bowl, and he wasn't a good coach. He just got a damn good team.
Yeah, but okay. Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. But how many years did Barry Switzer coach in the NFL?
What? He had that one Super Bowl season, and after that, he was pretty much done.
Okay, McCarthy's
he wasn't with the Cowboys long.
McCarthy's been coaching in the league for what? 25, 30 years or something?
No, if you want a guy that's going to go get you 12 wins, okay, great. Go get McCarthy. I'm not saying that. But the man hadn't been past the first round of the playoffs since when? And he's been in the playoffs
that don't mean he's not a good coach.
Wait, hold on. He's had good rosters. He's been to the playoffs, and he's done nothing.
But here's my question. You say you had good rosters, but if we just took that roster and put it somewhere else and it didn't have the Cowboys name on it, how many people would have been saying that was a great roster?
Well, I mean, look at the personnel that he had on those rosters. He had some good players. Look,
I'm not saying he didn't have some good players, but I'm just saying, being the Cowboys, a lot of people think the roster is better than what it is just because it's automatically the Cowboys.
America's team.
Oh, that's not even where I was going with it. That's not even
I'm not saying that's where you're going with that, but that's what I'm saying. Some people will say that. That's why I'm saying if you would have somebody would have looked at that roster and not knowing what team it was, would they have thought that roster was as great as they did because it was the Cowboys? You see what I'm saying?
Well, I understand what you're saying. I look at, I'm going to take the San Francisco game. I'm going to take that playoff game just as one example. The Cowboys had 10 penalties in the first half alone. They came back to second half. They tried to make adjustments. They couldn't make it work. Where was the discipline on any of Mike McCarthy's teams? Because every one of the Cowboys teams have been discipline headaches. We are known for getting penalties. What did he do to rectify that? You know what I'm saying? We had 10 penalties. We shouldn't have won. We should not have lost that 49ers game, but we couldn't get out of our own way and start making stupid mistakes to even put ourselves in a competitive advantage to win that game. That's what makes me mad about the whole thing. It's just I feel like, again, I've said this numerous times, I feel like Mike McCarthy is antiquated. I don't think he is fit for this schemes and this times and the way they do things. He's just too antiquated. He brings on Mike Zimmer when Dan Quinn leaves to go to the Commanders. Really? This is your choice. He is your coordinator. Freaking Mike Zimmer, the same guy that had personnel problems with players in Minnesota, was one of the biggest reasons why he was booted out of there. This is the guy you bring over and give us? This is who you put in your defensive coordinator spot. I mean, it's just decision making that he makes. I see
what you're saying. But before Zimmer became a head coach, he was a pretty highly talented defensive coordinator.
I mean, if you want to go past,
I know what you're saying about the head coaching thing. I don't disagree with you. But I mean, before that, before he got that job, he was highly touted as a defensive coordinator. A lot of people like
one. I know what I saw defensively, and defensively we were horrible.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Again, if we want to go on past accolades, we can do that. We can play that. I just feel like they're too old for the game, or they have too many issues to really be effective. Now, if you want to go get like a John Gruden, not that he doesn't have his own email scandal issues, but still, Gruden is a good guy to break down game film. He can break down all kinds of things. I mean, he's really good. He has a really good offensive mind.
I just
watch somebody like that.
I kind of disagree with you because Gruden's overrated. He won a F in the Super Bowl on somebody else's roster.
But he did raise up a good roster out with Oakland when he made it to the Super Bowl with the Raiders. They didn't win.
That's true.
But he got there with them.
He did with the Raiders, but the Tampa Bay one.
It's not like he can't build up his own team.
Oh, so now we want to talk about past accolades.
No, I'm not saying that. There you go. So this is the way this show's going to be there. Okay.
Hey, I had to say, you just said if you want to go by past accolades.
No. I'm not saying. No, I think
Gruden's.
No, if we're going to be correct, Tony's one that brought up the Super Bowl with Gruden. I only compliment that he also did it with the Oakland Raiders. Yeah. That's the only reason I went there. Okay, so if you want to blame anybody, you blame your father. Your father took us. Tony, you're really been an asshole.
I think Gruden's overrated. I really do.
I'm not going to say that man's overrated. I think he's got a lot of good football in him. I really do.
I'm not saying he's not good. I think he's overrated. I think he's higher rated than he should be.
I think Steichen's overrated.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't know if he's a head coach or not. He's a good offensive coordinator.
No, look, you know.
Hey, is Dallas coach now? Is he overrated?
No, but think about it, guys. Look, the older coaches haven't really done much. You can say Andy Reid in there, and you'd be right. But he is kind of the anomaly to that. I mean, a lot of these winning coaches or winning teams are coming on the backs of younger guys. Yeah. I just feel like the game has gone that direction where the younger coaches are bringing new, innovative ideas.
Harbaugh,
and Harbaugh, you can throw Harbaugh in there for sure. He has definitely kept Baltimore in really.
Well, I'm even talking about the other one too. Hey, he did well with San Francisco. Now he went to San Diego.
Said Jim, could he just left Jim in college at Michigan? Why did you bring it back to them? Come on.
Hey,
what has he done really with the Chargers? He's done nothing with the Chargers. What's the Chargers?
1 year.
Okay.
And
you're telling me you don't think Jim Harbaugh's a good football coach?
I did not say that. I said that Jim Harbaugh is okay. I said he's an okay coach.
Okay.
He's okay.
Did they make the playoffs?
He got a Super Bowl? Did he? What has he done? I mean, he did get a national championship. He's a great college coach. I mean,
he turned San Francisco around in 1 year, took them to the Super Bowl. He turned San Diego around this year, made the playoffs, and San Diego was horrible.
But they lost.
No cap at all.
Yeah, but the Chargers have had good years even without Jim being there. I mean, they don't have not exceptional years, but they haven't been bottom basement either. They've been kind of.
And when Harbaugh got there, they lost all the receivers. Like they didn't have a great roster this year. Still made the playoffs.
Lost the running back.
What you know about San Diego San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers is that team has got more injuries than I've ever seen. That team racks up. I think you get injured just going to that team.
This year, I don't think it was. I don't think it was as bad this year with injuries as it had been. But yeah, over the last
3 or 4 years before that.
But
man,
is that a training? Do you think is that a training staff issue out there?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Last year they didn't have that issue, and it's a whole new training staff because they brought in Harbaugh and his.
But they also got rid of some of their headache injury guys too.
Yeah,
McCardle.
You know what I'm saying?
Mike Williams.
But that's what I'm saying. But there is a new training staff there now as well.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I would hope they got a new training staff because the last one had more injuries than they had healthy players. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen the Bosa brothers, both of them, not just Joey, but Nick too. I mean, both of them, have had health issues. You right? I mean, the Bosas are always out at least for some length of time during every season. It may be short, it may be long, but they're always out.
And sorry, Pablo. And sometimes that don't have nothing to do with the training staff or the conditioning staff. Some guys just
one or two. Yeah, if it's one or two, I just really get that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Some guys are
a
just
whole damn team full of it. Or I should say up till now, they've got rid of a lot of that.
And this is why I'm saying that, because like last year, look what happened to the Detroit Lions on their just on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
but I don't think that was a training staff issue because it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen all their offensive players or all, the other guys. It was just sometimes the injury gods.
Injuries are going to happen. I'm not saying injuries aren't going to happen. What I'm
No,
saying
no,
is
yeah,
with
I
the
knew you were.
Chargers, it's almost like expected. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have fruit seasons. I mean, a lot of the Packers were beat up. The Detroit was beat up. But it just seems like with LA Chargers, it's a stigma. It's beyond just a one seasonal thing. It's a stigma on that team of being injured. You know what I'm saying? I met Keenan Allen. That guy just looks like a walking injury.
I'll ask you first, Chris, then we'll ask Jay. I already know his answer, but if you had a choice of coach, would you want Jim Harbaugh or John Gruden?
Oh, that's a good one.
I'd take Harbaugh, but of course, I think Gruden's overrated. That's just my opinion.
I'd go Harbaugh. I think Gruden's a good. I don't think Gruden's overrated. I think Gruden's a good coach. I do think the one Super Bowl that he went to with Tampa Bay, he went with Tony Dungy's team. But he did have a good team there in the Raiders with Rich and took them to the Super Bowl with Rich Gannon as quarterback.
And I don't think he got a fair shake the last time.
No,
I think he was. I think
the last time he was with the Raiders,
he was scapegoat.
He was starting to turn that team around. I think they had the right coach, but then of course that email thing happened and all that, and he got, like you said, I think he was the scapegoat. He went down. They've had him go down instead of everybody going down.
I like Gruden. If I had a young quarterback that just came to my team, I would want a guy like Gruden because I feel like Gruden is relatable. I feel like he knows how to break down plays to show the quarterbacks how these plays work. I feel like from the developmental side, Gruden is really good at that.
So I think Harbaugh is too. I think Harbaugh is great at that too, and Harbaugh was a quarterbach.
Oh, I understand. I get it. I get it.
They're both real good coaches. They're both real good coaches.
I think Harbaugh's just a little bit, to me, personality-wise, just a little bit more. And not to say Gruden's not. I think Harbaugh's just a little bit more hard-nosed, and I like that.
You never seen Chucky pissed off?
Yeah, Chucky get pissed off.
Chucky gets pissed off. I've seen that man blow a gasket a time or two on the sidelines. Holy cow, man! Damn. But you got to remember, though, he hasn't just been to one Super Bowl. He's been to two. One, yes, he did inherit a team, but the other one he built. So, I mean, and also remember, too, that when they went to the Super Bowl, they had that one offensive lineman that went on a mental health error and kind of didn't play that game. And that was one of their big-time players. I mean, they kind of fell apart in a few areas there. But I'm going to take Gruden. If you give me this, I'm going to go Gruden.
And you also got to remember, like with Harbaugh, everywhere he's ever went, he's turned around. He went to San Diego, the University of San Diego, whatever, turned them around, made them a contender. Went to Stanford, turned that into, where they were almost national champion contenders. Then went to San Francisco, turned them around, got them to a Super Bowl. Went to Michigan. Look where Michigan was at. They were down in the dumps before he got there, and got them to national championships. So, I mean, he has a track record of everywhere he's been. He's been able.
Look how bad
he's had success.
Look how bad the 49ers was before he got there. Yeah. I mean, they were like 3 wins.
Yeah, that's when what's his name was the coach.
Yeah, he turned around big time.
Damn it, who was it? Former player.
Which one?
Coached the 49ers for a little while. Played for the Bears. Didn't he play for the Bears? Yeah, played for the Bears.
Oh, the black gentleman?
Yeah.
Was it Caldwell?
No, it was linebacker, I believe.
Why the fuck?
Singletary.
Yeah.
Did Singletary coach them?
I think
he sure it was him.
I think you're right.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just didn't realize that.
Not 100%, but that sounds right.
I'm pretty sure that's the name. Yeah, Singletary.
Okay. Yeah, 49ers. You're right. Mm-hmm.
And the
they didn't have a very good record at all.
Players hated him.
Yeah, players hated him, and then Harbaugh came in after him.
I think there's a difference.
Was a little bit more hard nosed. I think that's why probably people didn't like him.
I think there's a difference between being hard nosed and being hard nosed. I mean, some of them go a little crazy. But he played a different time.
Yeah. He definitely played in a different time. There's no doubt about that.
before everything got soft.
Yep.
Still is soft. It's like freaking Charmin out there right now.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not really a whole lot going on in football these days. The Saints expected to stick with Derek Carr as their quarterback in 2025.
You'll start to get quite a bit coming out the next couple of days because, like
yeah.
I said, the NFL Combine is started now in Indianapolis, and then like in 2 weeks the free agency starts. So and then you got the draft about a couple months away. So,
do you think we'll see a lot of trades in the draft?
I don't know. I think we could see quite a few teams trading back because I don't think there's that. I don't think this draft, especially with quarterbacks, is not. But this draft isn't as deep at some of the like the top positions as maybe like the draft was last year and the year before. Especially at quarterback. This draft this year is not near as strong a quarterback as it was last year.
I can't remember who it was now. There was a famous running back who commented on Genty, said that he thinks he's going to be a huge, huge star in the NFL, and he'd be shocked if he don't go in the first 20 picks.
I think Genty is definitely going to go in the first 20. I don't think Genty makes it past 12. I think if he's there and the Cowboys, I think if he's there at 12, the Cowboys, I definitely think
Jay's gonna be heartbroken
if they don't take him.
He's gonna be there at 12, and they're going to draft a
offensive lineman,
a kicker or a punter or some shit. They're going. What pick they got? 12.
12.
Yeah, they're going to use their 12th pick on a kicker.
Look, we're not that bad, Gonzo. I mean, come on, give us a little bit of love. But damn, I'm not saying we're great.
Well, you guys have a good. You guys have a good kicker, so it wouldn't be a kicker.
No, but the Cowboys do. Now, that is one good thing about Jerry. He does draft good people. He drafted Parsons. He drafted Seeding and so forth. I mean, he has drafted good people. Not all of them panned out. Obviously, Maisie Smith really didn't pan out. Taco Charlton didn't really pan out. But
Sanders is going to drop.
But I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you right now. Jerry likes to make a splash. And because Dowdle is a free agent, he knows he needs a running back to complement. And I think Genty would be the exact splash that Jerry's looking for. So I don't think if he falls to 12, Jerry ain't passing up on Genty. I would be
he's over there, dude.
I would be shocked if they pass up on Genty.
I would be too. Jay, I would be mad for you if he's there and they don't take him.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to write in. We need to write somebody, let them know what we think. So,
you going right?
Tony say, hell with this crap.
Who you going right?
I'm going to write somebody. Don't you worry about it. I'm about to be at the damn podium cussing Goodell out himself.
I like to see that.
I would too. That might be the highlight of my life right there. Hey, what was the last thing you Hey, you got to worry about knowing who I am. You just know who ESEN. Man, you can catch us over there.
I thought Jay was getting ready to write a letter to his congressman complaining about how Jerry was running the Cowboys.
Man, I've already done that. It didn't do nothing. That motherfucker said it back, said, "Nanny, boo boo, it's your team killer, not mine." Oh, by the way, I met the Governor Shapiro one time on a podcast, and he's an Eagles guy. He won't tell you that because he's the governor of Pennsylvania, but you know damn good well he's an Eagles guy, and he didn't want to talk to me for shit. But the minute he found out I was a Cowboys podcaster, that conversation dried up quick. Like a damn drought. And you just suck it for water. All you get is dirt.
Where your boy Luka had a triple-double last night.
Yeah. How you like them apples, Mavericks? 19. What do you have? Was it 19 points or 20 points that he got? I know he had a triple-double.
I've seen an article that they said that the owners had trouble with him drinking a lot and also hanging out at the hookah bar.
Oh, that was the issue that the Mavs had with him?
I just read an article about that they didn't feel like he was health conscious. He wanted to go smoke the hookah and drank a bunch, and he wasn't concerned enough about basketball.
How they feel about him going in there and whooping that ass?
Yeah, they just set their franchise back probably 10 years.
Oh, at least.
And here's what's crazy to me on that. There's a lot of them players drink on their own time. You know what I mean? Like after a game, when they're not at the facility, you know what I mean? There's a lot of players that do that. And so like to make that big of a deal that you're going to move off a player.
Hey, let me be honest. If you got an issue with Luka being at a hookah bar or maybe have one more beer than he should have had, have you seen the other crap that the NBA players are putting in their bodies? Trust me, I'll take a little hookah action. It's okay. Not going to hurt nobody. At least it's not out there like Henry Ruggs taking his Corvette and going 170 miles down the freeway, killing people. I mean, what are we talking about? Or Ray Lewis out there beating the crap out of your wife or whatever else these athletes are doing. I mean, if you want to get mad at the guy for smoking a little hookah or having a few beers, I mean, come on. What are we doing?
Well, and I'd get it if it was affecting like while he was doing on the court, but it's not. That's the thing. He's still putting up like, you know what I mean? Like if his drinking was so bad that he wasn't showing up to games and wasn't playing, okay, then. But just because you don't like that he drinks a little bit, and
well, the bottom line is the owner didn't like him. That's what was the owner didn't like Luke. That's what it came down to. But it's stupid business.
Was it the owner or the GM?
Well, whoever, both. I don't know. But you got to say both of them are idiots.
Yeah.
If the owner went along with it.
I think part of what the owner is, I think part of it is that stuff about the casino or the sports betting is true.
Yep.
Because they were wanting to open a casino there in Dallas, but with the laws they can't because it's not legal or whatever. So like a lot of people think they done that to piss all the fans off in Dallas and stuff so they can move the team to Vegas.
I've heard that. I've heard that story.
I think there's some truth to that because to me, I mean, because here's my thing: if you wanted to trade Luka, okay, I think it's stupid, but you could have got a hell of a lot more for him than what they got. That's what don't make no sense. You could have got a lot more for Luka than what you got.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, they were definitely sleeping at the wheel on that one. I mean, hell, even James, when we traded James Harden back in the day, I think we got 6 picks, 3 firsts, and I think 3 seconds or something like that. I mean,
that's what I mean. You could have got the farm for Luka, and you just basically gave him away. That's what makes me think some of that about them wanting to move the team and stuff is true, because to me, why else would you just give them away?
And they did kind of give them away.
Did you know the Pacers have the 4th best record since January 1st in the NBA?
Yep.
Since 2025, we have the 4th best record in the NBA.
What, the Pacers?
Yeah.
Yep.
4th best record?
We got the 4th best in the NBA since January 1st. We're 19-6.
Oh, I didn't know they gave medals for slow.
I didn't say they gave a medal. I'm just saying we're playing some good basketball.
I just know. Are you looking for a bronze?
How's Houston playing right now, Jay?
I'm not getting a fucking medal.
What's Houston's record?
I ain't got no medals either.
What's Houston's record since January 1st?
What's Houston's record since December 1st?
Hold on, but Tony, you also have to remember I was damn near in last place last year. So the fact that I'm even in the top 5 is medal enough. Killer B.
Are you going to be able to stay in the top 5? You got to win some games sooner.
Man, listen. Hey, listen. We talking semantics right now. You know what I mean?
It ain't semantics. If you keep losing, you're going to go to 6. You're going to go to 7. You're going to go to 8. You got to start winning.
Hold on a minute now. See, now Tony here talking some trash. Damn.
I ain't talking trash. I'm being honest.
Hey, hold on a minute. You gotta let me look up the stand. The Rockets beat the Bucks last night, 197. So go.
All right. Finally won one.
I still don't think we have Van Fleet back, which still kind of sucks because we need him back. He really is kind of our field general right now on the team. They play better.
It's a big miss. He is.
But
the Rockets have the 13th best record in the NBA since January 1st with a record of 15-11.
About right. Because that's when we lost Jabari Smith Jr. We lost Seguin for a little bit, in and out of stretches. And then we've had Van Fleet on there for a little while. So, I mean, we've had some injuries during that time period. So,
The
that sounds about right.
best record in the NBA since January 1st is Cleveland and OKC are tied at 19-6. The Nuggets are 20-7, and then the Pacers are 16-6.
Damn, okay. Shit. I still think, man, I mean, you guys are playing good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not trying to say you guys aren't playing good.
Pacers and Houston, because like you said, Houston's had injuries, are kind of opposite. Houston got off to a real good start. Pacers got off to a terrible start. And so now they kind of flipped a little bit. But like you said, Houston's had a lot of injuries.
Pacers had a lot of injuries at the beginning
of the season, yeah.
I mean, I think right now, our record is dead even. But both us and the Lakers are 10.5 back of OKC. So the Lakers are at 35-21. Houston's at 36-22.
Okay, Jay, I'm put you on the
really,
spot.
I mean, we're only one game. We're like one win and they're one loss away from us taking over the number 4 spot.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Who finishes higher, Lakers or Houston?
Man, given the fact that the Lakers are playing without any injuries, really, and they got a full head of steam, I'm gonna say Lakers right now. If I had to bet on it, I'd say Lakers. I would like to see Van Fleet come back.
You think Houston
in full character, and I think we could possibly get back into it. But right now, the way the injuries are currently, and the way they're I would say Lakers are ahead of us right now for sure.
Do you think Houston?
So here's the thing, man. The Houston sucks. They're just going to be one and done by the time this is over. And this is Big Glenn coming at you live and loud, Billy.
Damn.
Big Glenn coming in shooting the shots.
Yeah, he did. Do you think Houston can maintain the 5th spot? Or do you think they'll drop low?
No, I wouldn't know how to remove his ass. I forgot.
Yeah. So how's it going, guys?
Hey, how's it going, Glenn?
Doing good. Just got in from dropping.
Man, listen, man. Hey, look, man. Even the doctor gives lubrication. What the hell's your problem?
Hey, Glenn. Here's my question for you. Who's going to finish the season higher, the Pacers or the Rockets?
Obviously, the Pacers.
Good man.
Do we catch the Nets?
Look, wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. Now,
I don't think that we catch New York.
Hold on. Now, listen, guys. Look, I'm not dummy, and the audiences aren't dummies either. You got 3 Pacer fans on here. Come on. Literally, I'm not saying you're biased, but let's just be honest. You're playing a little biased right now.
It's hard to find Houston fans, Jay.
So here's the thing.
They're here. I mean, look, our record is right now we're at 621%, and the Pacers are at what? Where the Pacers at? 571. Okay. So you're discounting a team that was damn near in last place last year. Now we're ahead of you guys, and see
what's the Houston's record?
36-22. We're 32-24. Okay.
Okay.
But you're discounting that the Pacers were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Okay, that was last year. Where are we at this year?
We're fourth in the East.
Okay, let me know when
Higher
you
than we were last year.
Higher than we were last year at this time.
Yeah, but you didn't move up. It's not like you moved up exponentially.
Last year at this time we were like 9th in the East.
Yeah, last year we were like 15th in the whole division. I think.
I can't help you guys were that terrible.
Well, we were terrible. We were rebuilding.
Last year they were kind of terrible.
I see, because we were last. We terrible. We're not that we're terrible. We're young. As a matter of fact, we're still young.
Still young.
Honest with you.
I'm not hating on
our
I just don't think Houston is as good as the Pacers right now.
Hey, Jay,
Houston's doing good. I think the Pacers are a better team right now.
I hope Houston. I hope for a Houston Pacers final. But
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. If it was a Pacers Houston finale, that would be the shit.
we would all be winners because we could say to Frankie, F the Lakers.
A big F you. Big F you. Listen, nobody wants to tell that guy a big F you more than this guy. Okay? I mean, I live for those moments. Okay.
Who's Logan's team? Who's that asshole's team?
Atlanta Hawks.
Atlanta Hawks. F the Hawks.
The hell with that. Shit, we got 2 games.
Logan is everything Atlanta with the exception of the Raiders. That's the only team he goes outside of the state of Georgia.
Okay. How did he end up with the Raiders? They didn't have no team.
His dad was a Raiders fan, and he just grew up with his dad's team.
Okay.
So Tony,
I was like, how did you wind up as a Raiders fan too? And that's what he told me. I was like, okay, I'll give you that one.
Jay, my dad's team, Dallas Cowboys.
That's right. What happened to you? Where'd you go wrong?
I lived in Indiana.
Were you the chink in the chain?
I never lived in Texas. I only lived in Indiana.
I know, man, but you still should have followed your daddy's footsteps. What a terrible son. God.
You made a good decision.
So Tony, I got your question on Facebook earlier.
Well,
imagine a household where Tony was a Cowboys fan and Gonzo was a Colts fan.
Well, I was we didn't have the Colts. I was a Bears fan. All my brothers were Bears fans. But what was weird, my dad was a San Francisco Giants fan in baseball. And
so Tony, I got a question earlier on Facebook about NXT and stuff. It was pretty damn good last night.
I loved it.
The venue was amazing too. I was able to get the belt on TV. I think when Jordan Grace was out there. And,
cool.
I took the belt down to see the Pete mural and everything because it's right there. So
you see them having a Pete Rose Day, giving out jerseys.
That's
cool. If I can't go to the opening day, Tony, I probably will go to that game. So
I think we should go.
Yeah,
May 14th.
If y'all go, then I'll definitely go.
I think it's May 14th.
Yeah, May 14th.
That would be a game even I would want to go to because I love Pete Rose. Pete Rose is one of my favorite players.
The jerseys that they're giving out are, of course, Pete Rose 14, but they're from the 1975 and 76 World Series road jerseys because they won both those series on the road, and that's why they're doing the road jerseys.
Out in Oakland too.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, that totally makes sense. I would totally love to go to that game and grab one of those jerseys. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, that Pete Rose jersey I wore down there last night. It was a pretty big hit with everybody.
Still waiting on my University of Texas jersey, Glenn.
Yeah, though. My buddy's putting it in next week. He said,
"Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about." Progress.
Yeah, he was late. He was late.
That's okay. Hey, look, as long as he doesn't forget about me, it's all good.
All right, well, was there anything else you wanted to hit on before we get out of here for today?
Yeah, I just want to tell Glenn if I don't get that jersey that Johnny Two-Thumbs will be coming after him. I might have Gonzo drive by your house on an Uber beat up.
Yeah.
Hey Jay, you was a big baseball fan. You was a big baseball fan. I know you remember George Foster.
Glenn, I'll come by the house and we'll go down to Hooters and get some wings.
Yeah, because they want a disabled guy going to take on another disabled guy. Although that would be kind of a fun match.
So my last thing is the Hardy Boys all stirred over, and the crowd went nuts for those guys last night.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah. When we was at that WrestleCon, well, you were down there too, Glenn. They had the longest line. They had the longest line by far of anybody down there.
Oh really? I know Joe Hendry line was long.
Jay,
when we were there, they had the longest line.
Yeah, you're a big baseball fan. You remember George Foster, right?
I do.
Okay, he played for the Reds, but before that, he played for the Giants. I actually got to go see him play for the Giants. That's in the 70s, early 70s, down there in Cincinnati before he ever became a Red. I remember got to see Willie McCovey. I got to see a bunch of great players. My dad got tickets. We always had behind home plate. The factory my dad worked at, I worked there too later on. The owner had season tickets right behind home plate, and he very rarely went. And so my dad got tickets all the time.
Oh, hell yeah. That's got to be one of the advantages. Like, if you ever have a team that's terrible, like, you can always get good seats there and probably get good autographs. That's probably one of the only benefits of having a crappy team.
Oh, the Reds were good then.
Yeah, the Reds.
I'm not saying your team. I'm not saying your team.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if you ever want to get tickets or something
who
like
was
that.
the player that you guys got the autograph on the glove? The Montreal Expo.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name now.
I can't remember, but they were both young. My son Jeff and Chris, and they're there at I can't remember who the manager was. The manager for the Expos came over and he signed autographs for about an hour, all the kids and stuff. But then this one player was pitcher was practicing, and my son Jeff kept yelling at him, "Hey, hey, hey!" And finally, he came over. It was the only one that came over to and had him sign his glove. And I said to have him sign Chris's glove too. It was funny. My son Jeff took the glove and threw it and hit him right in the chest with sign that one too. He was like, he said, like, you little asshole. He signed that one. Then everybody else came up and he wouldn't sign nobody else. He signed. He was a pretty good pitcher. Was it Gullickson?
I can't.
He was a real good pitcher for the Expos, but I can't remember who it was now. But he signed both the gloves.
So real quick question. Hey, I do have one question. So I told you earlier the teams that got good grades in the NFL Players Association. Do y'all have any idea who got the worst grade? And it was by their own players too. What team?
White Sox.
No, it's NFL based.
Oh, NFL.
The freaking Jets.
Probably the Colts.
It was the Jets. The Jets players gave Woody Johnson and company an F-. That's how bad they hate their management and their team. Could you imagine that? That's how bad the Jets organization is right now. Everybody hates everybody. What a time to be alive. I just want to let you know that don't expect nothing from the Jets anytime soon.
No, not until Joe Namath passes away.
Who did?
Not until Joe Namath passes away. I'm going on the conspiracy theory. Yeah.
Why's Joe got to die?
I think he sold his soul to win that Super Bowl III.
Yeah, poor Joe. Got to die for the Jets to get good. Shit.
But that's all I got, really, guys. Other than make sure you go follow and like and subscribe on Gonzo Sports Room. They do a good job over there. And if you wouldn't mind giving ESEN a little love and show us a subscribe over on our YouTube page, we would certainly love it and appreciate you. That's all I got.
Definitely.
Yeah, if you have any complaints, send them to Jay McLovin.
I agree with that.
Right here.
He's the complaint department.
We have great customer service where we always take care of our peeps.
All right, you got anything?
Do you have a recording and it's a foreign guy?
All right, we appreciate everybody watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow right around 2:00.
This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.